You. So, hello, my name is Fadwa Aniny. I'm a doctor in vertebrates paleontology from Morocco. We'll present new data on the Middle Eocene vertebrate fauna from the subtropical Breij in southeastern Morocco. This work was done in collaboration with colleagues from Morocco and international institutions. The summary of this presentation will be as follows. The Sahara Desert in southwestern Morocco is rapidly developing into an important region for documentation of archaeocene whale evolution, complementing the Indo-Pakistan subcontinent, the Fayum Depression of Egypt, and the southeastern United States. So the Moroccan Atlantic Sahara is a promising but little studied region. El Breij is a key site linking the emerging Atlantic with the Tethys during the Middle Eocene. It provides crucial context for faunal affinities, migration routes, and marine corridors. Uh, Africa has a few Eocene fossil sites, but some like Fayum and Dorothal yield rich faunas. El Breij, together with other sites like Dakhla and Gibran, also in Morocco, represents one of the rare strategic marine localities. So for the location and geological setting, geologically, this formation belongs to the Atlantic basin of Tarfaya Layuna Dakhla. This basin is the onshore proximal part of the Atlantic passive margin, and Gingerich and Zouhri in 2015 summarized the geological context of the study area. In the depression of El Breij, the stratigraphic sequence comprises three lithostratigraphic units. The three fossiliferous beds are located in the lower lithostratigraphic unit. The lower so the lower unit outcrops over a thickness of 7 to 8 meters. It consists of alternating whitish marls, indurated and cut into plates, some sandy marls, and three levels of coarse grained marly sands rich in vertebrates, which are separated from each other by a very persistent yellowish sandstone. The two upper lithostratigraphic units did not yield marine Eocene vertebrates. So there was field campaigns in 2019 and 2022 yield a rich assemblage of fossils preserved in fine grained sediments. So the one with the yellow, the pink scars, that's me on the field. So this slide illustrates the material and the methods used in the study. We worked on various anatomical elements like teeth, vertebra, postcranial bones, and turtle carapace fragments. These remains were compared with both fossil and extant specimens using anatomical reference plates and morphometric measurements. Our observations focused on diagnostic features such as dental morphology, vertebral proportions, and pelvic structures. These comparisons allow us to identify the taxa and discuss this evolutionary and ecological significance. So let's go for the systematic paleontology. So here we have the contractants. They are the most abundant group at El Breij with 146 isolated fossil teeth. Their preservation is generally good, and their study combines qualitative morphological observations like crown shapes, cusps, etc., with standard morphometric measurements, following, of course, Capeta 2012. This analysis allowed attribution to 30 species in 10 genera, with a strong dominance of a coastal carchariniforms. So the diversity and abundance of bentopelagic forms indicates that El Breij represented a productive coastal environment during the Middle Eocene comparable to other North African assemblages. For the actinopterygians at El Breij they are mainly represented by fragmentary postcranial remains like vertebral centra, some caudal bones, and rostrum fragments, although less abundant than than convictins. They provide valuable insights into the local fish fauna. For the testudins at El Breij, they are represented by carapace fragments, some neurocostal and some plaster plates. Two distinct morphotypes were identified. We have the Dermocleida and Chenonida. So the rarity in the Eocene record of Morocco makes the Elbridge discovery a new contribution, to North African marine reptile diversity. So let's see for the crocodile forms. So crocodile forms from a bridge are represented by Procoleus vertebra, like you see here, fragmentary, osteoderms, and some mandibular remains. This specimen is partially preserved, bright quadrates. It is elongated and a primitive crocodilian trait with a posterior and ventral inclined condyle for mandibular articulation. So the medial hemicondyle shows a ventral slope similar to that of some fossil gavialoids like Eocecus, a clear suture with the occipital and dorsomedially positioned the foramen aerium are also visible in our material. So for the serpents, we studied a specimen which was an isolated vertebra with partially preserved neural arc, pteramorphophysis and paradiopophysis and neural spine. So it was attributed to Pyophis africanus based on detailed morphological comparison. Like you see here, there was an article that was published recently on my mail. For some aves, specimens are referred to Pelagornithida, which was a giant marine bird with characteristic of pseudoteeth on the beak. So these fossils provide rare evidence of Eocene pelagornithids in North Africa. For the mammals, we begin with the Protocetida, which was an early archaeocets that were still semi-aquatic. Two specimens are referred to a medium-sized form, also known from nearby Guren in Morocco, and smaller than Papocetus lugardi, the dominant protocetid in El Breij. So these elements confirm the presence at El Breij of a medium-sized, like we said, a medium-sized protocetid, closely related to protocetid species B from another locality, Gran, also in Morocco, highlighting a paleoecological and taxonomic continuum between the two localities of the Aridal Formation. There was also another protocid was found attribute to Papocetus lucardi, so we have two species. Here we have a plate of specimen. Is the one of the most remarkable finds from El Breij, a nearly complete palette for 850 millimeter long with a well-preserved upper dentation, making it a key element for identifying Papusetus lugardi. The second genus is Chrysocetus. It is represented at a bridge by numerous axial vertebrae, some cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and caudal, attributed to Chrysocetus fouadasi. So attribution to this genus is supported by vertebral size and proportions and morphology, confirming the presence of these small African basilosaurids in level 2 and 3 of Elbridge. The third genus is Eocetus. It's represented at Elbridge by a complete series of cervical, thoracic, and lumbar vertebrae, probably from a single individual. Uh, is donc, Eocetus is a more specialized basalisaurid adapted to powerful swimming in deeper coastal setting. We have another genus that we found on the field. It's attributed to Antiacetus aita, and at Elbridge is very unique. It shows vertebral traits characteristic of the Pachycetina. Is a basilosaurid subfamily with extreme skeletal densification. So all these arguments that support a firm attribution that for also for this anti-aesthetics that the only African Pachycetina known with such well documented postcranial remains, highlighting its extreme adaptation to shallow coastal waters with minimal active swimming. So this figure reinforces the previous interpretation by plotting each taxon along three-dimensional axes, providing a direct view of vertebral morphology. So in blue, we have Chrysocetus fouadasi, known from Elbridge and Guerin clusters, tightly with low dispersion, stable morphology, and optimized for agility. In red, Eocetus, which was presented with large dimensions, especially height, and which provided that he had greater muscle attachment, stronger force transmission, and more energetic swimming. In black, we have Antiacetes, which was widest and tallest with tallest centra, reflects hydrostatic stabilization strategy, not dynamic locomotion, but with passive support in calm waters. So this illustrates a remarkable paleoecologic structuring of the Eocene coastal environment in southern Morocco. For the proboscideans, this discovery of Barytherium has provided valuable insight into the early stage of proboscidean evolution, the mammalian group that includes modern elephants and their extant relatives. So here we have a series of teeth well preserved, also some well preserved vertebrae. So for their results, archaeocets and cetaceans, they were highly diverse with at least six species, including Chrysocetus, Eocetus, and Antiacetus. And this diversity reflects a strong evolutionary regression compared to Fayoum and the other locality in Morocco. For the convergence, they dominated by lamniform sharks and benthic rays, which provide a very trophic roles with large predators and substrate dwellers, indicating a productive coastal ecosystem. Also, the marine reptiles like crocodilians and sea turtles reinforce the image of a complex coastal habitat with semi-aquatic predators and generalized forms. For the proboscideans, postcranial remains attests to the early presence of barytherids in the coastal setting, uniquely associated with archaeocids in the same assemblage. So the taphonomic analysis indicates calm sedimentary dynamics, consist with rapid burial in low energy environment, the good preservation of anatomical connections, especially in archaeocets, sirens also, and birds, points to a protected neretic zone where fossilization was favored by fine-grained substrates. Here, all evidence suggests a shallow marine environment, probably an inner platform or coastal estuary with limited but regular continental input. The association of strictly marine and freshwater taxa reveals a short ecological gradient between coastal zones and the depositional basin. The paleo-environment sitting in thus defined as a shallow, well-oxygenated marine zone with the sedimentation favorable to preservation, water temperature inferred from faunal affinities indicates a warm climate typical of the Middle Eocene in North Africa. So, Breij shares many taxa with other major sites of the southern Mediterranean basin. This faunal convergence reflects strong paleobiogeographic connections within the Tethyan realm, while also recording Atlantic influences, notably through certain cetaceans and birds. So for the conclusion, Breij represents one of the most diverse marine vertebrate fauna of the Saharan Atlantic Ocean. Our approach is multidisciplinary, combining geology, paleontology, taphonomy, paleoecology, and paleobiogeography. The evidence indicates shallow marine environments on a stable platform with moderate eustatic variations and exceptional fossil preservation. Finally, the site is dated to the Lutetian Bartonian, a key interval for the evolution and the diversification of marine faunas during the Middle Eocene. So the Lutetian Bartonian, which was in the Middle Eocene, fauna from Breij, and Bartonian fauna from Gran and Bartonian Preabonian Middle to Upper Eocene marine faunas from Ad-Dakhla, as well as faunas from other points in the conterminous West African Atlantic periphery of the Atlantic, like Togo, Senegal, and Nigeria, constitute an inter-grain connection between the Middle to Upper Eocene marine faunas from the eastern parts of the Tethys and the Middle East, like in Egypt, and the simultaneous faunas from the American continent. So all this new information from the Moroccan Sahara provides deeper perceptivity into faunal exchanges between Asia, Africa, and America through the seaway that links Tethys Ocean and Atlantic Ocean. So thank you to the VCWAP for this conference for this today, and thank you, and I'm ready for your questions.